For me, success has enabled me to have choices. You know, I was able to think about what I wanted to do next, and you know, one of the reasons why I've become involved in UA92, it's something I feel very passionate about. The majority of times that I've reached out for help, nobody's seen that as a weakness. Everybody has responded with support and help. Never underestimate the power of networking, even when you're a younger person.
My job and my career, if you like, has opened so many other doors. So starting in youth work on a housing estate, working with young people, actually, I went, you know, I ended up doing things like outdoor pursuits. I ended up doing arts projects. We learned about drugs and alcohol, so things that wouldn't have entered necessarily my world per se. So the highlights for me are every job has taught me massive lessons. Owning my own skin is feeling as good as I can today in this moment. So if you're having a bad day, that doesn't define who you are. Your behaviour doesn't define, oh, that woman, oh, she's crying, so, oh, she's emotional. No. That is how you feel in that moment, and I'm going to own my own skin.
How have you built such a big, authentic network over your career so far?
Well, I didn't know I had a big, authentic network, so that's a surprise to me.
You do.
I don't see it as a network. I do believe in authenticity, because every person that I've met, I know something about them, and I'd like to think that there's a connectivity.
The regiment wanted a skilled paramedic, to go out onto the front line with them in Afghanistan. And it was stipulated that the role needed to be a male. And I fought back on that. And I said, well, they want a paramedic, not a gender-specific paramedic. And after a lot of fighting to and fro, they agreed to allow me to do the role. And I proved quite quickly that it didn't matter what gender you were, as long as you knew the job and you got mucked in and you know, safety as well as anybody else, then that didn't matter. And I smashed it. I don't mind sort of shouting out that I smashed it. And many other women beyond me have done the role and proved that if you want to do something, you can do it regardless of gender.
What advice would you give a young girl who wanted to get into a career that's in a predominantly a man's world?
Go for it. If that's what you want to do, if that fire is in your belly, you get that focus and you do it. And if the fire is there in your belly, you can do anything you want. The strength is already there. You've got to believe in yourself. And once that belief's there, you can do anything that you want to do.
So if you were going to give someone advice on a student starting their career in a male dominated industry like you did, what advice would you give them?
Go for it. Just absolutely go for it. Work hard. Be unapologetically committed. Unapologetically. If you get given the word no, fine. Maybe they just weren't feeling it. Maybe they thought you're not quite right at that time. Maybe they thought actually you were a bit too right for them at that time and they were a bit put off by you. Maybe it's a no because there's a better opportunity around the corner, and that no will guide you to overcome the next obstacle that actually puts you on a far better path. There's one bit of advice that I did get as a youngster that I would certainly pass on, and it was from my mum on my first day of secondary school. And she took me out the door and she said, "Chris, I want you to go there today, enjoy yourself, and anything that interests you, get involved with it."
Can you tell us about your experience of breaking the stereotype throughout your life and career?
It was fine when I was doing a bit of a desk job, but as soon as I took the plunge into proactive sales, it was almost like, well, you can't do that. How are you going to do that with kids? And I'm like, they're my kids, they're not the salespeople. I'm that person. They're not employed. So Girls Out Loud is incredible. It is a social enterprise that specialises in showing girls that they can be the best that they can possibly be, and they can do whatever they set their minds to. Liking yourself, liking what you do, liking how you do it. As long as you're happy with what you've achieved at the end of every day, and you've done the best you can possibly do, then for me, that is successful. So my challenge is, what work can I do with Girls Out Loud to help nurture and push that next generation?